Welcome to the Idea Climbing Podcast. You can't run a business on relationships without revenue. At the same time, you can't try to sell everybody you meet. Where's the middle ground? In this episode, I discuss how to navigate that path between relationships and revenue with my guest, Lady Jen Du Plessis. Lady Jen is known as the business scaling architect and the sovereign leadership mentor, boasting 40 years of finance and over 400 million in revenue generated. She is a celebrated numerous Barnes& Noble and Amazon #1 international best-selling author, three times podcast host, and TV talk show host who delivers real transformation, not just fast profits, so her clients can achieve both business success and personal fulfillment. We dive into topics including the problems with most one-to-one networking meetings and how to avoid them, how to qualify people that might become part of your business's inner circle of referral partners, how to know when it's the right time to sell your services, the one thing above all else that you need to do to successfully navigate the path between relationships and revenue, and other golden nuggets of advice. You're going to love this show. Jen, thank you for making the time to be on the podcast. I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. We're just having some fun together, aren't we? We've done a lot of things together lately.
And now
And
we
more
get to talk about something when it's being recorded and capture some of that genius.
capture some of that magic, right? Tech
Oh
has
my
been our
God.
friend. Tech has been our friend. Tech has been our friend.
Oh, today it's working, so that's good. And we're going to be talking about the path from relationships to revenue. And one thing we're going to touch on is how every one-on-one, not necessarily every, but one-on-one meetings in general should be interviews. Before we get into the tips, the tactics, the strategies, when it comes to the pathway from relationships to revenue, how did you get so good at it? What's your story there?
Well, look at I coach on hustle to harmony, right? We're all in this hustle and we really want to be in harmony. We want to be in harmony. We still want to, generate income. And, I was doing everything that everyone told me to do. You have to go to networking events. You have to follow through. You have to write thank you cards. You have to answer your phone, 5 seconds after it rings. You have to do all these things that put us into hustle as business owners, sales professionals, entrepreneurs, right? And I was in that, and I would go to one-to-ones. I would meet people and say, let's do a one-to-one. Does that sound like anybody here? Does that sound like you're listening? You're having all these one-to-ones, and I call them one and dones, right? I don't want to have a one and done. They're not one-to-ones, they're interviews, and they're not one and done. And so what ends up happening is, I found myself doing thousands of one-to-ones. Because I thought that was the name of the game. I'm just going to meet with people and they're going to start giving me referrals and everything's going to be great. And I found that I was wasting my time. And if that sounds like you, right, then there's got to be a better way. And so for me, it was, how do I find a better way? And I was white knuckling my way to meetings. I might even be doing that now. You may be doing that now, where you're just, I hope they like me. I can't wait for this meeting. I can't wait to pitch them. I can't wait to tell them about me, right? You show up, you throw up, and you hope up, right? You hope that you're going to get business. And I was doing that, and they were doing it to me. So it was just this big pitch fest. And I find that all the time. So even when someone makes an appointment with me, I say, let's set intention. This is not a pitch fest. This is not for us to pitch to one another. It's for us to learn how we can help each other. I used to call it explore, expand, expose, explode. Maybe that's what I called it, right? It's like, let's explore each other's business. Let's, expose each other out in the marketplace. Let's expand our opportunities and let's explode our business, into positive things. And that's where it first started. And I would walk into these meetings and I would pitch and tell all my products and services, and they maybe didn't, they were waiting. It's coming. You're going to ask, right? And then I would leave and give myself a virtual high five and say, that was great. They were fun. I know we're going to work together. And absolutely nothing would happen. And what a waste of time, right? What a waste of time. So I started developing an interview process. And then what were the right questions to ask? And how could I not get bored meeting them for the 800th time? And so I created these 5 questions that I'm going to share with everybody today, that allowed for me to generate $400 million in revenue with just 22 relationships that I focused on. And we won't have time for all the categories that I focus on, but I will say that 12 of them were my apostles, right? They would do anything for me and I would do anything for them.
So when did you start doing things differently? What's the beginning of your path of someone watching or listening? What's the beginning of their path? How do you stop going from one-on-one, which is just one to done, to what you just mentioned? What's the starting point of that? Where's the shift?
Well, the first thing is, again, setting intention, right? Making sure that you're going in with this one-to-one. Look, and here's the deal. If I were speaking to you and we did a one-to-one and all I did was talk about what I do and ask you if you want to buy, you want to get involved in my mastermind, you want to get involved in my program, whatever it is, then I have a 50-50 shot at selling. I'd rather know how many people you know that are interested in it or that talk to my client, because you may not even be talking to my client in that one-to-one, but you may have a network that talks to my client. I want the network. I don't necessarily want you as a client. Now, if you're doing a one-to-one, and so hear me out on this, if you're doing a one-to-one, don't pitch to them, but let them raise their hand and say, I love what you're teaching. I would like to know. And I've had clients from that too, but that's not the intent. And that's where everybody goes wrong. So setting intention. So we start off with three things. Setting intention. So if I were meeting with you, I'm going to role play here. So I would be Mark, thank you so much for meeting with me. I'm so delighted that we got the chance to meet at that networking event. And I really want to learn more about how we can work together. Now, by the way, it's not fit. See if we're a good fit. It's how we could work together. And so in doing so, I realized that there will be three outcomes from our time today. One, you may decide that you don't want to work with me, and it's not a complimentary relationship, and that's okay. Now, see how I said that? Because then I got myself over my own sales hump, right? Like, that's okay. They can say no, right? You're going to say no. And by the way, in sales, you always do alternative first. So you might say no, and that's okay. Number two is you might say yes, and that's okay too. And number three is I might decide this is not a good compliment for me and my practice. And that's okay too, isn't it?
Of course, you're going to say yes.
Okay. So we forget that element of yes, no. When we do a one-to-one or one and done, right? It's like, yes, they're going to buy my stuff, or no, they're not, instead of what else can we do, right? So putting that third element in allows for us to say, wait a minute, hold on here. I don't have to work with everybody. I get the choice too.
That's powerful.
Okay. And we don't do that, where it's like, we're going to do one-to-one and I got to convince them. And it's, if you're not watching, it's hurried, right? It's just like, I got to convince them to work with me. Oh my God, I got to convince them. So just let it lay back, be adults, instead of climbing over the table and going for the neck, just back off. And when you say that third part, guess what they do? They lean in, because now they're not waiting with folded arms. It's coming. They're going to ask me. They're going to ask me for the business. I got to come up with a way that I can say no, right? And so it makes it be an even playing field, an adult conversation.
So what does the rest of the conversation look like? How do you do business without being pushy?
Yeah. Okay, everybody get your pens out because I'm going to talk fast. We don't have a lot of time. All right. So there's 5 questions that I ask in the first meeting. And then in subsequent meetings, I ask 4. And then once in a while, I'll ask the 5th. Okay. That's the 5th one. Number 1. Hey, it's such a pleasure to meet you, Mark. So now that we have that squared away, share with me a little bit about you, your practice. Tell me a little bit about you. And let the person go down the road that they want. So tell me about you, not what do you do? Tell me about you. They might go down the private. Oh, I'm a dad and I play golf. And then, oh, that's wonderful. Engage with them. It's called the frog method, but engage with them. And then when they're finished, say, well, you've told me a lot about your family, and that's wonderful. I can see why you're such a great family man. Tell me what you're doing in your practice, what you're doing in your business. I call it a practice. Okay. What you're doing in your business. What are you doing in your business? If they go down the business route, say, oh, that sounds great. No wonder you're so good at what you do. Tell me, what do you do for fun? So now you're getting all of the ways that you can connect. You're not interrupting. I went there too. My child has a dog. You're just listening. You're thinking of all the ways you can connect with them. So that's what you're going to start off with. That first question. Wonderful. Tell me about your business. Right? Make sure that we know about their business. I do this, I do that. So we know about their business. Second question. Tell me about a struggle that you have right now. What's keeping you up at night in your business, and how have you tried to fix it? Because we don't ever want to be in a position where we think we have the answer in the first meeting. And if your answer is, well, you should do social media, and they've tried everything social media, you have just put the wall up on the relationship.
Mm.
So tell me, what are you struggling with? What are some of the challenges that you're having now? What keeps you up at night? Tell me about your business. We're all experiencing it. What are you experiencing? And then just keep your mouth shut and hold that close to the vest. That's for the next meeting that you're going to solve the problem. Okay.
Okay.
So you say, oh, I may have some ideas on that to help you, but let's meet again. Right. So that'll be later. But so tell me what the struggles are. So part of this is you're identifying, could they be a client for you? Right. Could you refer them to another friend of yours and get an affiliate commission? Could you refer to another friend and they're like, oh, thank you for referring. Would you like to speak on my stage? Right. So you're looking for the connection. That's number two. Number three, right? Number three is, who do you want to be connected with to help move the needle on your business? Oh, it's so funny you're asking me that. I'm looking to expand my business to do more speaking at companies, do more speaking at corporate events, do more speaking at colleges, meeting more financial planners for whatever reason someone has. Is like, I want to expand the number of people that I know in this thing. I'm looking for more people who heal, people who do hypo whatever, or physical therapy, whatever it is that you're looking for to fill the coffers of your referral base for your clients and yourself. And let them give you the connections, and then ask why, right? So if you said to me, or if I said to you, hey, I want to meet some plumbers, and you go to introduce a plumber, what are you going to say? Hey, this chick Jen wanted to meet plumbers. There's no context.
Mm-mm.
So you've got to give the context. The reason I'm trying to meet plumbers is I don't have enough of them. And my clients, I own a lot of property. So my people, I'm constantly needing plumbers, and I need more of them because they're busy or not available or whatever. Okay. So that's why. So now the email is, hey, I just met with Jen. She's looking for plumbers. She has a robust inventory of homes, and she never has enough plumbers on staff. And so she's looking for more in different locations. Now it makes sense, right? So connections. Next question, right? So that's 3. Number 4, next question is, how would I know if I'm talking to someone, if they would be a good referral for you? So what did I just do? I pre-framed, planted the seed that my intent is to provide referrals. Connections are for collaborations, introductions, right? That's that relationship to revenue. But this is now the referral, the actual client. So how would I know? What are some of the phrases they would use? In my business, they would say, I am so tired. I'm working 100 hours a week. I'm so sick of doing everything myself. This was supposed to be a temporary 60-hour-a-week thing, and I'm working more than when I had my other job. I don't know how to hire people. They keep this and so I know what I'm looking for, but I need to help. I need to hear that from my partner, so that I can have my reticular activator and my antennas up, so that I could recognize when a good client would be there for them. Cool?
So adding value to their life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got tell me about your business, right? Tell me some struggles. What have you tried? So I don't give you the same answer. Maybe I might twist it, right? Who do you want to be connected with? How would I know if it's a great person? And number 5 would be, what are you working on right now in your practice, and how can I help you? Oh, I'm having an event. Could you cross promote? Oh, my book is being launched. I really need that. Oh, my assistant got fired or quit yesterday, and now I don't have an assistant. My bookkeeper's gone. What are you working on right now? What are you most excited about, right? That could be another way. Or what are you working on right now, and how can I help you?
That is powerful.
Okay. Yeah.
So
It goes much deeper, but I can't go deeper in the time that we have. But there's a few other little elements. But this last question, which is you ask every once in a while, is, now, by the way, I just asked all of you those questions. Now you need to ask me. So everybody be prepared. What are your goals? What are you doing in your business? What are your challenges? What have you tried? Who do you want to be connected with? Never say, oh, I don't need anybody. You always need someone. So be prepared. how would they know? Are you real clear on who your avatar is and what the words are that they're saying? And what are you working on right now that you would love some help with?
Mm.
And that's the 48 ways that I've shared with you, right? The partnership opportunities, 48 different ways that we can help each other. This last question is, thank you. Thank you. This has been wonderful. Remember when we set that intention in the beginning? What are your thoughts?
You actually asked them that. What are your thoughts about this call?
What are your thoughts? Yeah, what are your thoughts? We've gone through all the questions. Thank you so much for asking all these questions. We set that intention, in the beginning that we would determine if we felt there was a complement to work together, right? Not a complicate, the complement to work together. What are your thoughts? And I'll tell you what, I was in the mortgage business a long time ago. So I had a realtor say to me, no one has ever done a one-to-one like this, ever, ever, ever. This is the most impressive thing I've ever seen. But my daughter is a loan officer, and I will never give business to anyone but her. But see, I could have deflated myself and go, oh, you just hit me. Instead, I had already said, it's okay if you say no, right? And so what she said after that is, but because I'm so impressed, could I introduce you to 5 other realtors?
That's some
Yes.
powerful stuff right there.
Yes, you can. Right?
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right. And you may say, I really appreciate this, but, and I don't think this is a great, mix. You could say that. I mean, there's a lot of ways I coach my people, but if you're not as bold, right? Because I got to the point where it's like, no, I can't. But, and I didn't do it like that, but you could say, my thoughts are, it's been a really good meeting and I really look forward to working with you, and then go do what you normally do, which is nothing. Who cares? Just do nothing. Right? If that's what you want to do, because that's what most of us do. We forget.
So what do you do to how do you decide to even ask for a second call, set it up? What do you do to start building a relationship after that first
Yeah.
meeting?
So I compartmentalize the meeting. So I'm asking all these questions to compartmentalize whether they would be whatever people call us, sharks, champions. I call them apostles, right? I have 12 of them. I can only handle 12 people that I'm doing all this stuff for, and they're doing for me. But so whatever you call them, number ones, besties, preferreds, I don't care. So I'm going, what have they said that allows them not to be that? Remember in school, everybody gets an A+ and then it's yours to lose. So I walk in
Exactly.
thinking this is going to be my top A+ apostle, whatever you want to call them, person. Oh, but they said that they're starting to work on retirement. So now we're not aligned, because if I'm growing and they're not, we may not be aligned. But that's why you got to ask follow-up questions in each one of these to really understand. So they say, oh, yeah, when we first scheduled this, I was doing this, but now I'm doing that. And now that isn't something that aligns with me at all, right? So it's theirs to lose. So I'm going, okay, you're not an A+. So could you be an A? And I have criteria for this, right? Could you be an A, just a regular referral partner? I'll work with you here, there, and yonder. Oh, that sounds good. And then maybe they aren't that either. And so I've got these 5 or 6 different categories that I put people in, and there's a certain amount in each category. And then that's how I work my day. They get all my attention. A+ get all my attention. The others don't get as much, but we do other things together, maybe not as frequently. But I'm looking for different criteria. It's not what their revenue is, it's who they know, it's how engaged they are and committed. So my thoughts, after I ask you your thoughts, right? My thoughts are, I would love for you to be one of my preferred A+ referral partners. Is that something that you'd like to hear about? Yeah, what does it entail? It entails that we meet every week and we ask these questions. So we get on the phone for 15 minutes. I go, what's your goal this week? What are you challenged with this week? Who do you want to meet this week? What are you working on this week? That's it. Because the other stuff I don't need, like the clients, you'll ask that every once in a while, right? And I do that to all 12 of them once a week. So whatever 12 times 15 is, right? 2 3 hours a week. And I'm doing the same. This is what my goal is this week. This is what I'm struggling with. This is what I need help with. This is who I want to connect with.
And it's
And
just
all
15
the
minutes.
15 minutes, that's it. All of these people, there's 56 of them total. I went from 22 to 56 because there's internet now, right? So we have 56 people. That's what I encourage people. You don't need tens of thousands of millions of people. You need 56. And it's a sorting process. That's why it's an interview. And when you go through that interview, that process, you have those 56 people. It's 447 engagements per month with them, right?
Define
447.
engagement.
Yeah, I'm having a phone call. I'm attending a meeting with them. I'm doing some social media posting and sharing, right? It's 447 engagements per month. And that sounds like a lot, but I have to ask everybody, how many are you doing now?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And is it getting your business up and running and rolling and getting better and stronger? And who are you doing it with? This group this month and this group that month. And I forgot about that guy 2 months ago. Now bring him back in. So it's all laid out in a way that is so easy to understand. But are you ready for this? It's 14 and a half hours a month. A month. 14 and a half hours a month.
That is
Get
crazy.
all the connections, to get all of the introductions, to get the referrals, to get right. It's 14 and a half hours total a month.
So what do you do to build the
What do you do?
relationships? How do you have touch points without necessarily I'm guessing it's not always a 15-minute meeting. How frequently and how do you keep in touch with those disciples?
That's exactly it. So the A pluses, we meet every week for 15 minutes on the phone or Zoom, whatever you want to do. And once a quarter to recalibrate what's changed. Where are we headed? What else can we do together? ... method, right?
Mm.
We're doing that on a quarterly basis because I had not a client, a referral partner who was a financial advisor, and he would only talk at BNI. He would say, if you have 7 401ks, my job is to pull them all together and help them grow better. I'm the 401k guy. When we met, I said, okay, so we're still doing 401ks. How's that going? He goes, oh, no, well, I still do them, but I'm really focusing on life insurance now, whole life insurance policies for investments. So if you don't have that conversation, you're referring the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you change your business, ours change on dimes, right? Like I was doing this. Well, now I'm going to start a podcast. Well, now I'm not going to do that anymore, right? I stopped that program. Your partners need to know. So all those people you've met over the last 10 years, one-to-ones, and told them what you did, and you're not doing it now, you need to meet them again. But now do it in a different way. So my recommendation would be look at who you've met in the last 6 months and do redos and categorize them. So the A pluses get that. And I will answer the phone. I will do everything for them. The A's, I have a phone call with them every other week, and I meet with them once every 6 months. And I'll
For
only
how long? Once every 6
go to
months.
Verizon or any place like that, and they're like, the basic plan, you get these 3 check marks.
Mm.
The up plan, you get 6 check marks. And with the premium plan, you get every check mark.
Yep.
So when someone is committed to helping me grow my business, provide me referrals, provide me with connections, provide me with opportunities, all 48, right? Provide me with all of those opportunities and be actively engaged and willing to do a 15-minute call so I can help them and they can help me, I'll do everything for them. I'll have, they can speak at my events free. They can speak at as many events as they want. I want to always bring them in. I want to always do things with them. I want to do Facebook lives with them. I want to endorse their books. I'm going to do everything, but you can't do that for everybody. So then you go to the A and you're going, I'll do these things, but not these, because there's not enough commitment. And so there's currency in a relationship, right? So with Verizon, you pay more for the more things. In a relationship, the currency is the number of connections and referrals. So I manage that. So if I find an A plus, I'm doing all this stuff for them and they're not connecting and they're not referring and they're not sharing opportunities, they get demoted to an A.
Okay. That is
your loss, not mine. Right? I'll replace them with another A plus, right? But you've got to do some sifting to find that gold. Yeah. To do that. And so, yes, so every category has something. And so it goes all the way down A through D. The D's are either delete because I'm not going to have a relationship. There's nothing grandiose about saying that I have 30,000 people in a database that I don't know or work with. There's nothing grandiose about it. Less is more, right? Or they go to database and I will invite them to things. They'll be part of my normal newsletter. They'll get, recordings, they'll get all those things. And one day they might bite and come back in and be a rejuvenated relationship. But for now, I don't really see where we can align, but I like them, so I'll keep them.
That is an awesome way to go about it. We have covered so much ground in such
I
a
know.
short period of time.
Listen back, instead of speeding it up, listen back slower.
So if someone's watching or listening right now, they're digging what you had to say about from the one-on-one meeting to continue it to ultimately where do relationships end up, database or A+ player. When it comes to the path from relationships to revenue, if you were to say, and it could be reiterating something you've already said or bringing up something new, if you were to say, if you want to do that from relationships to revenue, at least do this. At least do this one thing to do it right. What would you tell people to do?
Go first. Be the leader in the relationship. Go first. Don't wait for them to do everything. You go first and teach them so that they want to be attached to you forever.
That is awesome. And if people want to find you online, where's the best place or places to go?
Yeah, all social media, Lady Jen Du Plessis or Jen Du Plessis. Some don't change. And then my website is Lady Jen Du Plessis.
Thank you again, Jen. This has been amazing.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
And scene.